What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I have an amazing video for you. I've seen some comments, and in the interview I did with Paget on her channel, we actually talked about the potential for sustained growth, or where do I see Andrew Yang going forward? And I wanted to pull some data out to take a look at that question a little bit deeper, and it's very interesting. So with that being said, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, it's good to freaking see you. Happy holidays. It is 12/27/2019. I hope everybody had an awesome holiday. So what we have here is Google Trends. This is YouTube search volume for each of the candidates' names. As we have this across the top here, Pete, Andrew, Bernie, Joe, and Tulsi, right? And we have it over the last 12 months on YouTube. So this is the search volume on Google Trends. Google owns YouTube, and all of the search time, anytime somebody searches for any one of these terms over the last 12 months on a global basis on YouTube, they track it. And we get to compare those. So what we have here is, let's go here. So you get to see the colors up here in the top. And it looks kind of messy, right? But let me draw your attention to one thing. The red fucking line. First of all, let's go over here to the left. On average, around the world, the person who's had the most amount of search volume over the last 12 months globally on YouTube, the second biggest site in the planet, is Andrew Yang. Interesting, right? But what does that say about like his potential for the future based upon the data I'm seeing? Well, again, let's draw your attention to the red here. Something happened around February where he started to gain some type of relevance. And let me see if I can try to draw this out for you. What ended up happening with Andrew Yang globally over the past 12 months is that a couple months in, he started gaining traction. And you can see this line that is very hard to tell on the screen here, but this line represents the trajectory of his path. Now let's take a look, just for example, at say Pete's, right? He came in, he started gaining attention, he got more interest than Andrew Yang globally, right? And then he started dying off, right? What about Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders, he's had ups and downs, definitely way higher than Andrew Yang, it looks like, on multiple occasions. But basically, since like there's only been that one time right here, but from June-ish, globally, Andrew Yang has had more search volume. But what does that tell us about the U.S., right? Like, who the fuck gives a shit? It's in the world. They don't vote in the United States. Okay, good point. Let's get into the data and take a look. So in the United States, it's almost even more prevalent because it comes back to like the end of May here, where Andrew Yang, I'm assuming that there was a debate or something, I think happened in June. And since then, in the United States, Andrew Yang, if you, again, draw your attention, whoops, hopefully you can see this. Again, if you draw your attention in here in the red, you get to see that it, again, took off, right? Just like it did in the global scale. And it's been a trajectory up and to the right. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to actually notice the difference when you put it up against one or two people. So we're going to take out a couple of the names in the search volume up here, or search term up here. We're just leaving Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang to take a look at what it actually looks like in the United States over the last 12 months. We see on average, Andrew Yang has had more search volume. But look in blue. So now it's switched colors, right? Blue is Andrew Yang and red is Bernie Sanders. So look at this blue line. It's just, look at the blue. It's just up and to the right, basically, at a slope, right? Where Bernie has these big spikes of attention that go above it. And he has gained, right? Look, if we look over the last 12 months, he was below this 25 marker for all the way up until like February at some point. and then he's been hovering at that. But at the end here, more recently, he's at least higher than he was a year ago. So it is growth, even though it does more look like there might have been a peaking and the interest is coming down slightly. But with Andrew Yang, he has also had these very large peaks, but it looks like there's a sustained amount of interest, because it does look right in here. If you look at just this section, it could be like, oh, none of these highs have been even higher than these parts, basically, right? Well, this peak might have been. But yeah, it was just barely beat this one, right? So you're like, well, is that really growth? Like, who knows what's happening? And we see this trajectory down. But if we look at it on a much bigger scale, like over the past 10 months here, when he started taking off, it's been, I mean, if you ran a regression on there, you could clearly see the trend of that line there. It's pretty evident, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section, or you can jump over to Instagram or TikTok and say what's up. I'm about to cross over 1 million views on TikTok that I started actually going in on maybe 70 days ago. Still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm about to cross 1 million views. So link in the description to TikTok if you want to check that out, or if you want to see a video on it, let me know down below in the comment section.